Let's start, yeah? Let's get some patients in. Let's get some patients in. One there, one there. So, day 2, more challenges, as expected.
How today was incredibly challenging. I'm trying to keep it together. Dr. Riley, we have a tumor situation. No, asymptomatic, but very interesting if you want to have a quick look. It needs to be...
So we had a case where the lady came in, lower jaw was swollen. It could have been anything. There was a mobile tooth, and it could have been a cyst, it could have been tumor, it could have been malignant. Ordinarily, we'd send it straight to hospital back home. Here, we don't have that luxury. So we kind of took an executive decision that the tooth was mobile. Let's take the tooth out because it's not going to be any worse than the state she's in already. And when we did remove the tooth, it started to seep, and it was a cyst. So hopefully, we cleared the cyst, we cleared the lining, so hopefully when she comes back next week, it would have resolved, or on the way to being resolved.
We saw 2 chiefs of a nearby, I think, village, and they needed fillings, so we got the portable unit out, which allows us to have some form of suction, as well as to be able to irrigate, and also use the handpieces, which was a luxury in this part of the world.
EO, extraoral.
So remember, at the same time, the priority is we've been allocated 2 staff members to train up, and that's our priority.
Some of the nurses have taken a keen interest in what we're doing, and we've been able to show them how to safely inject some patients with local anesthetic, and then how to safely use the tools, whilst also, impressing upon them safeguarding techniques and things like that to make sure they don't cause damage while trying to help their patients. Tiring, but we're getting there slowly.
Yes. The other very fascinating thing about this whole today was how proud of some of my trainees from last year I am. Because I see how safely they're doing things and how curious they are. So it's just the passion and the care and the enthusiasm to learn that gives me a lot of peace inside and a lot of confidence in them. Because I know that if they don't know something, they'll either be asking me or finding out online or checking things by us, and they'll continue to serve the communities as much as they possibly can.
I tell you what the big obstacle here is. The obstacle here is this place already has a dental, you can call them therapists, someone that pulls teeth out, makes simple dentures. And it's much harder coming to that kind of environment than starting up a fresh unit. Because this particular chap is a nice guy, but obviously he's got his ways. We've also got our goals and our ambitions and where we want to go. And sometimes they don't coincide. My fear is we work on individuals to train them up, and as soon as we leave, because this guy kind of rules the roost, we're just going to end up going back to the way it was. If we achieve a dental unit like we have in the other places, then that's going to be a massive achievement, because I think this guy potentially might be an obstacle. Understandably so, because this is what he knows, this is his income, and he gets status here. But, every challenge has a solution, and I'm sure we'll find one.
So very much like yesterday, I've noticed especially people of, West African descent, really strong bone. Something in their diet is making them have really strong bone, which is good. It's good. Whatever it is, whether it's milk, cassava leaves, potato leaves, extractions are that little bit more challenging.
Another challenge, we've had this problem with the autoclave. We don't have an autoclave, so we have to use the general surgeon's autoclave. Something that should take 45 minutes is taken 2 to 3 hours. And no amount of instruments we have is going to be able to accommodate these kinds of times. Boss, we brought instruments over 2 hours ago, and now they're going to tell us it's going to be another hour. Okay. But sometimes it's just good to sit and talk with the staff.
Was it in the morning?
Well, it was before lunch. One of the nurses running the autoclave, she said, listen, if you can get me allocated to the dental unit so that I'm the autoclave nurse, then things are going to work far more efficiently. And that was that. One phone call, and we're good to go. So sometimes, rather than get frustrated, just talk to people. It's good to talk. We've been here before, man. We've been here before. It's all right. We always make it work out. We always make it work out. You know what I'm saying? Now you're doing it.
It's just dealing with inconveniences and trying to not get distracted from the patients, but also teach at the same time. That's been a little bit of a challenge in this heat. AC wasn't working, which really put a strain on the rest of the day. It's extremely hot, dripping sweat at all times. We had to just cover the chest of the patients because as soon as you lean over, it just pours. Problem is that the chairs don't have a rise setting, and they're set at one angle. So you need to just engage your back and neck to see.
Dr. Radi, minister said one case, he said you should check the boy.
So there was a child that came in and he had a swelling, and the swelling had gone to the submandibular region, which is around here. And the worrying thing about that is then it can start affecting the airway. Okay, so this guy's going to need some antibiotics first. We wanted to get him on IV antibiotics. They have their systems here, which we understand. They have to be triaged, and then they have to be assessed and x-rayed. And however, we're only here for a limited time, and we need the child to have a good 3-4 days of intravenous antibiotics before we're able to extract the offending tooth. This young boy, I can't treat him. Where is he? Until he gets some intravenous antibiotics.
Yes.
Who's the best person to go to? Kamara?
Mr. Kamara.
Okay, let's go find him. So sometimes we have to diplomatically say, although we don't want to, break your systems or encroach on your systems, this is a classic case of an abscess. We don't think it's anything more sinister. And that kid needs to get onto antibiotics ASAP. So hopefully we can work together and they can do their thing and do their protocols, but also accommodate us, because we're only going to be here till middle of next week. So let's hope that child gets resolved. I'm sure we'll manage. We'll get you better. Yeah?
Despite all the other challenges we've had, we've actually stuck to the time pretty well. I'm proud of the team and everyone for hanging in there, because there was some extra challenges. We had a patient come in with a osteoma and tumor, and another patient come in with a massive large abscess. Language was a problem, language barrier, and we managed to not only treat, sometimes stabilize, but also find necessary pathways for referral so that they can be looked after. And this has been a very good learning opportunity for people who are staying here and are getting trained, our trainees.
Number one thing for us is obviously these are people that are not going to be trained as dentists. So there's a lot of safeguarding involved. So we need to make sure that they understand what they need to avoid and how to proceed safely and when to abort. And I feel like a lot of them, they have the enthusiasm and they are very, showing some confidence in certain areas. With a bit of honing in, they seem to be understanding and they seem to kind of see what we're warning them about, which is perfect. It's what we want. Obviously, ideally, we'd have them trained professionally. We can't do that, so we're just making the best of the situation.
Can you give us a picture?
Well, this is a video thing, but this is Jallo. He's off to Cyprus to do big things, yeah? The first of many, inshallah. The first of many. Yalla.
Yeah.
Take care. Yeah, we'll stay in touch. All right, man.
So we are trying to set an example by doing everything as good as we possibly can. Doing things by the book and explaining the reasons why we do things the way we do. Today, what happened was I had a needle stick injury, thank goodness, from a virgin needle. So it was an unused needle that just pricked me. And it was just a touch. I couldn't even make myself bleed. That's how much of a thing was. But what really scared me is that it actually happened. The high stress of the situation made them a lot more observant of what just happened. But yes, it's been a blessing and an amazing team around us. Thanks to everyone for holding it together and for a great teamwork. And thanks to you, Radu, as well, for keeping our spirits up. I appreciate you.